Hi, are you a parent of a child experiencing autism spectrum disorder? And are you concerned about their communication skills? Then you are at the right place. In this episode of Friday Fact, I'm going to talk about communication in autism spectrum disorder. So stay tuned. Welcome to my channel Dignity in Disability, and I'm Anuradha Deshpande, mother of a young man experiencing intellectual disability and also a clinical psychologist, counselor and a special educator, and this pandemic turned me into a digital disability life skill coach. And I'm founder of Care and Care Life Skill Academy, and I'm on a mission to empower 100,000 parents of children who are experiencing any form of developmental disabilities by training them in life skills so that they can help their children lead a life of independence and dignity by imparting these life skills to them. And through my channel Dignity in Disability, I bring 2 weekly episodes of Tuesday Facts and Friday Facts. Through these 2 episodes, I talk about developmental disabilities and other allied topics. These topics are from my 30 years of association with disability, both as a parent and as a professional in this field. So let us go straight into talking about communication skills in children with autism through a presentation. Communication in autism spectrum disorder. So, what is communication? Communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. Imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium like pictures, graphs, and posters. The successful conveying and sharing of ideas and feelings. So, according to this definition, if you go by this definition, it is more than just transmission of information. So how important is this communication? In our daily life, communication is very, very useful. We always say communication is a key. It reflects that it helps us to build good relationship by allowing us to share our experiences, and it also helps us to express our needs. It helps us to connect with others. It also is an essence of our life by allowing us to express our feelings, pass on our information, and share thoughts. We all need to communicate. That is the bottom line. Predominantly, there are at least 5 types of communication: verbal communication, non-verbal communication, written communication, visual communication, and also listening. Yes, listening is a very important aspect of communication. Unless you listen carefully to what other people are saying, you will not even be a part of that communication. So it's absolutely essential to develop listening skills when you want to communicate. Let us see what is autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a developmental disability that can cause significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges. The term spectrum refers to the wide range of symptoms, skills, and levels of impairment that people with ASD can have. So, how does ASD affect communication? Children with ASD are often observed in their own world. They seem to be in their own private world with very limited capacity of being able to communicate and interact with others. Children with ASD may have difficulty in developing language and understanding others and what to say to them. They also have difficulty in communicating non-verbally. That is, they cannot follow social cues, or they cannot understand the change in the tones and expression, and even the facial expressions. Then the ability of children with ASD to communicate and use language depends on their intellectual and social development. Some children with ASD may not be able to communicate using speech and language and some may have very limited speaking ability. But others may have very rich vocabulary and they can go on talking about certain topics which they like so much. Many have a problem with meaning, rhythm of words and sentences. They may also be unable to understand body language and the meanings of different vocal tones. So, how do these children with autism communicate? Autistic children sometimes communicate differently from typically developing children. They might use language differently, they may use non-verbal communication or communicate through behavior. So, how do they use language differently? Sometimes they mimic or repeat the words they hear from others or they have heard it from television. And sometimes they even speak in a very typical tone or using certain words. They repeat these words without meaning or in an unusual tone of voice. This is called echolalia. And sometimes they use made up words. They will have some designated words for each item and they use it while they are communicating. Or say the same words over and over to convey what they want. And they confuse pronouns referring to themselves as you and the other person as I. If they want cookies, they would sometimes ask, "You want cookie?" Meaning that they want cookies. How do they use nonverbal communication? Autistic children might physically manipulate a person or object. For example, a child may take a person's hand and lead to a thing they want, or point or show and shift their gaze from one person to another, conveying what they want to convey. Autistic children might behave in difficult ways, and this behavior is often related to communication. For example, self-harming behavior, tantrums, and aggression towards others. Might be it is the child's way of trying to tell you that they need something, or they are afraid of something, or that they are not happy, or they are very confused. So how do we work on autistic children's communication? It is best to work on communication skills for autistic children very, very gradually. You have to take from the level they are at present to the next level. How do you do that? You can start and observe your children very carefully and noticing your child's attempts to communication. In level 1, when your child is going into your kitchen and starts crying, then you could help the child physically by guiding their hand to point the food they want. In level 2, if your child already communicates by pulling your hand towards the thing they want, next step could be to use words or picture cards. It can help to label items around your house with words like cookies, train, ball, etc., which the child is able to recognize and easily identify. So, other than this, how can you help your child with autism to communicate? You have to start with very short sentences. For example, shirt on, hands down, very simple, not more than 2-word commands. Use less mature language. They are children and they are finding it difficult to communicate. Rather than using very matured terms, you can just use terms like play down is yucky when you put it in the mouth, or exaggerate your tone or voice. For example, ouch, the water is very hot. Encourage and prompt your child to fill the gap when it is your child's turn to get into your conversation. For example, look at the dog. What color is it? The child will fill the gap by answering white, black, or brown. So ask the questions that need a reply from your child. If you already know the answer to the question, do you want a cake, is yes, then you can help your child to nod their head in reply by modeling them for your child. Give your child enough time to understand and respond to your question. They take time in processing what you have asked So give them sufficient time so that they can process the entire thing and then frame an answer and reply. Then practice communicating with your child on topics of their interest. It will be easier for them if you can talk to them on subjects which they like. So it will enthuse them to talk more. And finally, reward your child whenever they give correct response and encourage them for their efforts they are taking. So we saw how important it is for all of us to communicate, and especially how difficult it is for our children with autism to be able to communicate. They do try to communicate in different ways by using echolalia, by doing some gestures, and also through behaviors. So the next time when your child gets into a tantrum, please be aware that they are also trying to communicate. If your child is facing any communication problem, it is better to consult a speech and language pathologist and specialist in that field, and also carry out all those tips which was there at the end of those presentation. So that's all from communication in autism spectrum disorder. And if you like this video, please share, comment, and like this video. And also subscribe to my channel and ring that bell icon so that you will be the first person to receive all the communication regarding the videos I will be uploading. Please do visit my website www.anuradhadeshpande.com. Also join my exclusive Facebook community, Dignity in Disability. I will see you next on Tuesday. Till then, goodbye and take good care of yourselves.